this is just a theory before we explain. Do you think they'll ever reveal, like, Pixar come out with a film almost like kind of like a Julian Smith thing? Do you remember when Julian Smith created all these films, and then kind of his last film that he kind of has created on his channel since
I want to go back and
years,
watch those.
He kind of said, I created all this to tie it together. This whole time I've been wanting to tie it together. Which is crazy because we never thought that
we thought it was just all sketches.
Yeah.
But
which was awesome.
It's in the world.
I think that was genius.
That's a really cool, like in the lane of filmmaking and storytelling. That's really cool. That's a good way, because if not only you're making good, funny, or entertaining content, but then you bring it together and then blow your audience's mind, they will thank you forever for that, because there's something super satisfying about it.
Yeah, that's definitely something that I enjoy, and just finding Easter eggs in everything. I mean, even why it's one of my favorite movies is Ready Player One. Not to say that Ready Player One's in the future and it all ties together, but Steven Spielberg put so much Easter eggs and things in his movie
from his past films.
and
just like old 80s stuff.
Yeah, old 80s, just things that were happening during the 80s, and how Steven Spielberg was a huge part of the movie industry and just creating entertainment for that generation. And Ready Player One has so much 80s memorabilia, and the main guy in that film, he's like obsessed with 80s culture. And so that's something I really like. And that's kind of with the Pixar theory we have.
Well, it's adding a theory to things that probably are just Easter eggs, but the theory, I don't know if they did this intentionally.
That's why I'm curious if way down the road are they going to come out and make something to prove us that it is true, or are they just going to keep leading us on? Because
that's the thing. There would be if it was truly real, and we'll get back to the theory in a second. If it was truly planned, I feel like there would be a little bit more continuity.
I think there is. We just don't see it. And then also they know about this. I mean, they can't. They have to be stupid to not know.
They know about it, but it could have just been...
There's such thing as Pixar theory.
Yeah.
And so something, and they didn't mention this in the film.
The thing at the end, I think, is like the thing that makes the Pixar theory have any kind of water to stand on. Before that, though, I know... Water to stand on? What did I just say? Ground to stand on. What the heck?
Yeah. What? Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
Something that is a big part that they didn't talk about in that film that they've speculated on before, a lot of the original films that they've created, like the Toy Story and the Bug's Life, the old Pixar movies you know about, back in the 90s, I don't know if they were any in the 80s, but like Toy Story is the original one, and then Bug's Life.
Yes.
They had this team of writers, like the Pixar company has these writers, and I don't know how it ties together, maybe like something they went to school with or something like that, but there's these 3 numbers. I can't remember what they are. We should probably look this up, because this is a big thing that he didn't talk about in that film.
You mean the video we watched?
Yeah.
You keep referencing that, but no one knows what you're talking about.
Yeah, well...
You keep saying
that's
that video.
the one you watched, and you're kind of tying stuff with that, but there's these numbers that these writers have thrown into all these films. That's just things like where Andy lived, the numbers on the mailbox or something like that just tie things together, because they were important with all the writers of the original films. And even WALL-E came out in I don't even know what year, 2010 maybe? But it was wrote, and the concept of WALL-E was made back when they were creating the first Toy Story. They were like, we want to make this movie about robots and way into the future and all this stuff. It's an old concept that they came up with. These people that are part of...
It didn't happen until much later on.
Yeah. So there's these numbers that we see through multiple films. I mean, you should look that up yourself.
Okay. Well, let's get back to the theory.
Yeah.